Hello dear viewers, welcome to another video of this YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to do a brief review of a certain scholarship which is mostly advertised annually by the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board in Zambia. This video was done to simply provide help to those candidates who seek tertiary education and sponsorship, especially through a scholarship. So we're going to get into the review, and before we get into the review, I hope you haven't forgotten to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can always be updated with each and every video which is being uploaded on this YouTube channel. So this channel posts videos which are mostly related to academics. So let's now get into the review. So the first thing that you have to do is that I hope you have a Facebook account. You can go to your Facebook account and you can go to your search bar and you can type in Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board. So this is what you have to do. You have to type Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board on your search bar. After you do this, this is what should appear. This is how it should be. At the top, you're going to have Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, and then we have Zambia at the end, which should look something like that. So this is the page that we're talking about. So this is the page that you have to search for. It is written Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, Zambia. So you can simply press on that page. You can press on the page, and then this is how it should look like. This is the page. So as you can see on the mission statement, it states that HELSB has committed itself to administer loans and scholarships for higher education to meet the national demand for human capital. So you can do well by clicking on that page. So this is the page that we are talking about. So one thing that I would advise you to do is that you can simply follow this page, especially if you're a Zambian who has a green national registration card. So you can follow this page, and you're going to be seeing different posts which is going to be uploaded by the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board. So this is the board which gives out loans, student loans. It can be it gives out student loans to different universities in Zambia, such as the University of Zambia, the Copperbelt University, Olungushi University, and also other universities which are in Zambia. So you can carry out a research on that one. So it also gives out different scholarships. So it also gives out different scholarships such as Russia, Morocco, Mauritius, China, Algeria, Egypt, Tunisia, and also other scholarships. You can try to check it out, but it has to advertise. After it advertises, that's when you can apply. So this is the reason why I advise you to follow this page, which is the Facebook page. So you can do well by simply following this page. So these are the updates. So it carries out, it administers loans and also gives out scholarships. So in today's review, we're going to do a review of a certain scholarship which was advertised in the year 2024. And that scholarship that we're going to review is the Moroccan Government Scholarship. So we're going to check that one. Okay, so this is the scholarship that we're interested in today's video review. So the review that we're interested in, it is for the Moroccan Government Scholarship. So this scholarship, as it stands right now, it is advertised annually by the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, and it is mostly in the period April. It is mostly advertised in April. So we're going to see the qualifications and the things that you need to have so that you can be preparing. So applications are invited from suitably qualified Zambian nationals that meet the minimum requirements outlined here below to contest for 100 scholarships under the Moroccan government scholarship scheme for the 2023-2024 academic year. So this advertisement was posted in 2024 April. 2024 April. So available are undergraduate courses in the following fields of general medicine, dental medicine, pharmacy, PharmD, which is a doctor of pharmacy, and then we also have anesthesia, radiography, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, information systems, and communication engineering. And then we also have chemical engineering, software engineering, telecommunications engineering, and then we also have economics, business administration, and management sciences, agronomy, veterinary medicine, and architecture. So these are the courses, these are the undergraduate courses that are carried out. So these are the undergraduate programs that you can apply for. So now let's go into the eligibility. Let's try to check how can you be eligible to apply for this scholarship. So you need to take note that applicants should, number one, be a Zambian citizen with a green national registration card, which is the NRC. So for you to apply for this scholarship through the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board in Zambia, you must have a green national registration card, which is the NRC. So you must be, in short, they are telling you that you must be a citizen of Zambia. And then let's go to eligibility number 2, which is have a birth certificate. So you can prepare for a birth certificate. And then we also have this one, which is have a Zambian passport for valid for at least 1 year. So you can prepare for a passport. You can apply for a passport as quickly as possible, but there are those who can apply for a passport late, and they can find that maybe the passport is not yet ready. So what are you supposed to do in such a case? So you can't lose such an opportunity. What you can simply do is that you can just attach your receipt as you are waiting for your passport to be ready. So you can simply attach your receipt to your application and you'll be told what to do next. So don't be relaxed that no, maybe I'm going to apply next year or the other year when I'm going to have the period when I'm going to have the passport. So as it stands right now, this scholarship, it mostly occurs once to you under the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board upon completing upon completing your education. It is mostly advertised for your year which you completed only once as it stands right now. So let's try to look at this one, undergraduate applicants. So undergraduate applicants should be a school leaver who completed grade 12 in 2023. So this is what we're talking about. So for you to apply for this Moroccan government scholarship under the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board in Zambia, you must be a school leaver who completed the previous year before the advertisement was posted. So in such a case, this advertisement was posted in 2024 April. So meaning that the candidates who were required to apply for this scholarship were those who completed in 2023, the previous year before the post was made. The previous year before the advertisement was posted. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. So you can't be relaxed that no, maybe I'm going to apply next year or I'm going to apply after next year or whatever. So you can just simply prepare your documents as quickly as possible. And then we also have this one, which is have grades in English, mathematics, and subjects relevant to the intended field of study. So you must have good results. In short, they are telling you that you must have good results, and the condition is that you need to have grades 1 to 3 in mathematics and English, and also other subjects which is relevant to the field which you want to study. So in such a case, you need to have good results. It depends with the program that you're applying for. Let me give an example. If you're applying for a program such as general medicine, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need to have good results. If possible, at least you can have straight ones. Also, you need to keep in mind that it is 5 O levels. You need to have at least in five subjects you need to have at least 1 to 3. So that's how it is. And then we also have this one, which is have pure sciences if applying for general medicine and or engineering programs. So you need to keep in mind that if you're applying for general medicine and engineering, you need to keep in mind that you need to have pure sciences. It needs to be pure chemistry and pure physics. You don't need to have you don't need to have the normal combined science, but you need to have pure sciences. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. And the way they count these pure sciences, you need to keep in mind that they count in both subjects. So make sure that your results are going to be your results when they count in both pure sciences are going to be perfect. So that's how it is. So if you're applying for general medicine and civil and engineering programs, you need to have good results. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. They count both pure sciences. So those of you who may be like, no, my passion is general medicine and engineering, so I don't have pure sciences. What can I do? So one thing that I can advise you is that you can just try out other programs. You can just try out other programs. So that is how it is. So it doesn't matter whether you have you have straight ones in science, English, whatever. So you can have straight ones, but what is required is that you need to have pure sciences if you're applying for general medicine and engineering programs. So you need to keep that in mind. So if your passion maybe is to do something which is which is dealing with medicine, you can just pick a program which is related to medicine. I guess so. So you can pick maybe anesthesia or radiology, like that. And then we also have this one, which is be aged between 18 years and 23 years old by September 2024. So as it has been stated, that's how it should be. You need to be between 18 years and 23 years old by September 2024. So you need to keep in mind that as you are applying for this scholarship is competitive. It is competitive simply because it is countrywide. It is countrywide, and it is mostly known by many people. So you can, as you are applying, you can please take note. So as you're applying, I would advise you to please make sure that your results are good. But I'm not saying that if your results are not good, you can't try out. As long as you meet the above qualifications, it means that you can apply for this scholarship if you have grades 1 to 3. So we also have other conditions of the scholarship. So other conditions of the scholarship is that you need to keep in mind that expenses when you are going to the airport, you need to provide for yourself. Don't be like, no, HELSB, Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board will provide for me. You need to provide for yourself. That is what they mean. And then you also need to provide for yourself if there is any shortfall not adequately covered by the scholarship. So if there is anything which is not covered by the scholarship, you need to be able to provide for yourself. So now let's go to the duration. So the duration This is dependent on the program to be pursued. However, all programs include 1 year of French language in Morocco. So you need to keep in mind that as you're applying for this scholarship, as you want to pursue this scholarship, you need to have 1 year of learning French language in Morocco. So you need to keep aside that 1 year. So if your program maybe is 4 years, you need to add a year. You need to add a year to that one, meaning that you'll be in Morocco maybe for 5 years. And then we also have method of application. So method of application, you need to take note that applicants should submit a typed application letter responding to the advert clearly stating the field of study desired, age, and mobile number for easy communication. So as you're applying for this scholarship, you need to keep in mind that you have to write, you have to type an application. You have to type an application letter which is responding to the advert, and it needs to clearly state the field of study which is being desired, and then you also need to include your age, and then you also need to include your mobile number for easy communication. So you need to include your mobile number simply because this is what they are going to use to communicate to you that you have been nominated and you should maybe come for interviews, or you should do this and that. So you need to include your mobile number on the application letter. So on your application letter, make sure you include your mobile number for easy communication. If possible, you can maybe put two mobile numbers, simply because maybe that mobile number that you have provided is going to be off. What is going to happen? So you can just maybe include two. It is going to help, simply because maybe when they call you, when they try to call you, they find that your number is off. In such a case, it can be a tough one to communicate to you. And then we also have this one. You need to submit a curriculum vitae, which is a CV. So it must have personal, it must have your details. It must have your details. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. And then you need to include your certified photocopies of educational certificates. So you also have transcript statement of results certified by ECZ. So in such a case, those of the candidates who are applying for the scholarship have their educational certificate not yet ready. So one thing that you need to keep in mind is that you can just include your transcript statement of results. Don't be like, no, I don't have a certified photocopy of educational certificates. Just include your transcript statement of results, which has been certified by the ECZ. And then we also have the NRC. You need to have an NRC, just as we said, so you can carry out a photocopy of the NRC. And then we also have the certified photocopy of applicant's birth certificate. So you need to have the birth certificate. You need to submit the birth certificate, just as we said earlier. And then we also have this one, which is two color passport size photos and color photocopy of page 2 and 3 of applicant's passport. So it is stating that it is you need to include two color passport size photos. So you can carry out this process. You can go and get your passport size photos ready, and then you can also, if you have a passport, you can have a color photocopy of pages 2 and 3 of the applicant's passport. But if your passport is not yet ready, you can simply just attach your receipt as you are waiting for your passport to be ready. So you can take note of that. And then you also have to include this one, which is you also need to submit this one, which is a study plan or synopsis of summarized details of the preferred course and how the intended course of study will enhance one's contribution to Zambia's development. which is it needs to have 200 words. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. So you need to write 200 words for undergraduates. So that's one thing that you need to keep in mind. So down there we have something that states that it is a requirement by the host country that all nominated candidates undergo comprehensive medical examination, including the HIV test, and then tuberculosis and hepatitis B tests. And then need to take note that nominated candidates must note that last-minute withdrawal will attract serious sanctions from the loans board, which may include being blacklisted. So you need to keep in mind that as you're applying for this scholarship, you are ready for this scholarship. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. And then you need to take note that a clear copy of the deposit slip from NatSave of 100 kwacha application fee should be attached to the application. So that is the application fee. So application fee should be deposited at any NatSave branch. So you need to take note that you need to submit this deposit slip, and take note that it should be a photocopy. You need to get a copy of the deposit slip. You need to submit the copy, and then you need to you need to deposit the money, which is the 100 kwacha, at any NatSave branch. So you can try out this you can try out this scholarship. It is really possible. It is possible that you can be selected. Don't be relaxed that maybe it is only for the rich or whatever. Just make sure that you are applying in the correct field according to your results. Just make sure that you're applying in the correct field according to your results. Don't apply in the wrong field. So again, we have this one, which is applications should be addressed to. We have this one, which is the chief. So you need to take note that applications should be addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, PO Box 320298, Lusaka, just as it is right now. So as it stands right now, you need to keep in mind that applications should be addressed to the Chief Executive Officer, Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, PO Box 320298, like that. And then we also have to include Lusaka. So this one, it is the one which must be written on your application data. This is the address that you should use to where the application is going. So this is the application, the Chief Executive Officer, and then Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, PO Box 320298, and then Lusaka. So where should you deliver this application to? So you need to deliver this application to the reception. And which reception is that? The reception is at HELSB, so which is the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board. Now, where is this Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board located? So as it stands right now, it is so this Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, as it stands right now, it is second floor, United Church House, number 8, Mosotunya Road. And then we have to take note that it is located in Woodlands, Lusaka. For those of you who are not in Lusaka, you can also deliver this application. You can also deliver your application to the Higher Education Loans and Scholarships Board, C4 Copperbelt University, Riverside Campus, Kitwe. So if you're not delivering, if you're not in Lusaka, you can deliver it to that one. And then you need to adhere to the closing date. Like in such a case, it was advertised on 11th April 2024, and then the closing date was 26th April 2024. So you can get you need to adhere to this closing date. So you need to keep in mind that this is what you should follow. And then there is also another note that you should take note, that only shortlisted candidates will be contacted Any applicant who would not hear from us by Monday 10th May 2024 should consider his or her application as unsuccessful. So they have included it. They have stated that only shortlisted candidates will be contacted. So just as we said, you need to include your mobile number on your application. On your application, you need to include your mobile number. So they have included the date. So one thing that I can tell you is that it is not always that this date is going to be followed. This date is going to be followed. So sometimes you don't need to be like, no, the date has passed. It has passed 10th May. So my application was not considered. I'm going to throw away my phone, or I'm going to pack my SIM card or whatever. So you need to keep in mind that this sometimes goes up, but sometimes this deadline is not always followed. Sometimes it can be beyond this date. Just make sure that your phone and your SIM card is always with you. So that's one thing that you need to keep in mind. And then you need to take note that applicants should apply in only one program of study. So you need to apply in only one program of study. You don't need to apply in more than two programs. You don't need to apply in more than two programs. That's one thing that you need to keep in mind. So you don't need to apply in more than two programs. So I hope you're clear on this one. And then that is the way it is. I hope this review helps you. I hope it helps you. If there are more questions, you can drop them in the comment section. If you need any help in writing the CV, application letter, and also the synopsis, you can drop that in the comment section. So as it stands right now, if this scholarship was to be advertised this year in 2025, it is going to cover those candidates who completed secondary education level, which is the grade 12 ECZ exam in 2024. So those candidates who completed their grade 12 exams in 2024, you can start preparing your documents if you want to apply for this scholarship. It is mostly advertised in April, so you can keep that in mind. So this channel is always there for you. So maybe next time, the next review of the scholarship which is going to be carried out is the Russian scholarship, how to go about that scholarship. So you can always stay tuned to this YouTube channel. It is going to help you. It is going to help you. I hope you haven't forgotten to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. So this is the way it is. I hope you're clear. Thank you for watching. See you to another video of this YouTube channel.